It was late afternoon in Bokshiri, and I had just finished working. It was a gloomy day, one of those days that seems not to ever pass. The only relief was the groceries that I would have bought soon at the convenience store at the end of the road. My idea was to pick up some snacks and drinks, drive to my house in the countryside and relax for the weekend. A cool evening alone, with some gaming and junk food. It was ideal. I turned on the car and started driving. The trip took only a few minutes. I parked and entered the store. The clerk was nowhere to be seen. I said hello anyway and started picking up stuff. After a few minutes, he appeared from a door behind the counter. He was holding a pile of papers with a printed image on them. I asked what was all that about. He responded to me, "Those are flyers. I was asked to hang at the entrance. Seems that few peoples have been killed in a brutal way. A bear, I say. Trust me, they are always underestimated." Strange, I said. Never heard of bears around these parts. They're actually a rare species here in South Korea. Anyway, I paid and got back to the car. Driving home did not take long. The house was a country shack my dad bought in his early days and repaired over the course of years. Now that he's passed away, I inherited it and use it for my chill weekends or some evenings with friends. Maybe one day I will live there permanently, but right now I can't get away from the city. Just stepping off the car, something felt strange. There was an eerie feeling in the air, just like a storm coming. No birds singing or no sounds whatsoever. The wind was cold and the house dark. I immediately turned on the heating and the lights. And after a quick bathroom break, I prepared the instant ramen and fried chicken. I thought again about that flyers. It was so strange. Well, guess it's better to take the rubbish inside the house for these days. Turning on the television and opening my soju bottle was all I was asking for. Finally some rest. In the meanwhile, it started raining. The mood was really cozy in theory, but in fact I couldn't shake off an anxious sensation. Maybe the story of the flyers scared me a little too much. Well, I was in the safe walls of my house right now. No need to worry. And plus, the show running on TV was really good. In no time, I was fast asleep. The tiredness of the day finally took over, and the rain droplets lulled me into dreams. Suddenly, something woke me up. First, I heard whistling. Then, my brain turned on, and for a very brief moment, I saw a dark figure in front of me. Opening my eyes for the scare, I realized it was only my imagination. The TV was still on, and the rain now was heavier. Whistling here in South Korea is said to attract spirits. I'm usually not a superstitious person, but that thing gave me chills. I looked around and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. But damn, it was cold. Actually, I could see my breath. I went to the heater and noticed that it was turned off. That was strange. I turned it back on and went in the kitchen. A quick hot infusion would have been perfect, and then in my bed for some proper sleeping. While waiting for the electric kettle, I watched from the small window above the stove. In front of me, there was the house of old Byung-ho. a peaceful farmer and long friend of my father. He was still awake. I was watching him reading a book on his chair. The more you get old and the less you sleep, they say. Well, I was not old, and I was craving my bed. That normal and cozy scene made me forget the anxious feeling. Finally, I got back to some well-deserved rest. The sun woke me up. It was morning, and the rain left space for a bright sunny day with a perfect blue sky. That freshness and beauty couldn't herald at all what would have struck soon. I was strolling to the old man's house. I remembered I had to give back to him a pan he had lent me a few weeks ago. He greeted me as always, and before I could say anything, he told me, "Sung-jin, I didn't know you had a girlfriend. When happened?" "A girlfriend?" I said. Catching my surprise, he said with less certainty, "Yes, I saw you two yesterday night. She was standing in front of you. Were you talking? Oh, wait, maybe she's not your girlfriend, I'm sorry." I said that probably he had not seen well, gave him back the pan and turned it back home. I will never shake away the old man's look. He's not dumb. He has seen what he has seen. I packed my stuff the same day and returned home. Since that moment, I have never been able to get a good sleep. That story haunts me, and I cannot explain it at all. Maybe I've been lucky not to be on the list of the victims of that flyers.